you made Dostana, which has its own charm if you watch it today also. Why would Tarun not make an individual film, and why a franchise? What was your thought process behind it? How does it help your filmography?
I've had Dostana in 2018, then I had Drive, and then I had now this film. But it's been technically 17 years till my film comes back to a theatre, right? My middle film went into an OTT space. So for me, as a filmmaker, to come back after 17 years and make a film with this kind of a star cast, becoming a record-making film, being a part 5 for the first film, in the 75th year of somebody's company, how will anyone say no to that?
Right. Sajid Nadiadwala, who's one of the biggest producers in the industry. Are you someone who'll ask him that, why did you think of me for Housefull?
I don't want to ask him that question also. I'm glad he thought of me and he gave me that responsibility. And I'm hoping that after all of it, that I'm fully and over-delivered on that count.
The thing of casting, which is such a massive cast, we all can see. People kept coming on board because you all kept writing or innovating with making it bigger.
I mean, I think before the first word was ever written, we knew that Akshay and Ritesh are a part of the franchise. Chunky Pandey will be a part of the franchise. You know, Ranjit is going to be a part of the franchise. As you keep writing, then more and more development happens. And then you get Sanjay and Jackie on board. And then you get Nana sir on board. And I think that's only possible because of Sajid.
Tell me, when everyone is on the set, what is that day like for the director?
Working with these people, I was fortunate enough to get people who are so excited to be there, so excited to be a part of the franchise, and no problem.
Housefull has always had its critics, and from the beginning, and even now, I did read some reviews which said, women said the jokes were sexist and they had a problem with that. What would you like to tell women who feel uncomfortable about a joke like that?
If my character is flawed, he does certain things that are not agreeable with society, right? And I'm not here to make a film which is so placid that my characters are all wonderful people and all of that. I don't think of it like that. I never go into it prepared saying what is the criticism going to be. I'm not such a negative person. I'm going to go into it saying how much they're going to love this film, and that's it. Other than that, I really don't know what to say. I mean, everyone will have an opinion. Hi, I'm Tarun Mansukhani, director of Housefull 5, and you're watching this interview on Bollywood Hungama.
Tarun, welcome to Bollywood Hungama.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Congratulations. Good numbers coming in. Good for you. Good for everyone.
Yes, it's great for the industry. We really want everyone to come back to the theatres, enjoy it as a community. All the kinds of films that come, just come in and have fun. And that's it. They just get entertained.
Yeah. But I'm going to take you back. You made Dostana, which has its own charm if you watch it today also. It was one of a kind and path-breaking for its times, I would say. You were very good at that. Why would Tarun not make an individual film, and why a franchise? What was your thought process behind it? I'd like to understand that. How does it help your filmography?
I think just take a look behind you. You'll see a poster of 19 stars and tell me a director that will say no.
True. That's a fact.
Other than that, it's Housefull, which is the biggest franchise, comedy franchise. The first one to reach a 5th part, right? You get to have the honor of doing that. It automatically kind of puts you in the history books of being the director of the first film that reached a 5th part. Forget the box office numbers or the record-breaking numbers that it has done. You get to make a film after I've had Dostana in 2018, then I had Drive, and then I had now this film. But it's been technically 17 years till my film comes back to a theatre, right? My middle film went into an OTT space. So for me, as a filmmaker, to come back after 17 years and make a film with this kind of a star cast, becoming a record-making film, being a part 5 for the first film, in the 75th year of somebody's company, how will anyone say no to that?
Right. You know the art, you know the business. Why less films if we see your career? Why not more films?
Well, there are two sides to any person's life, right? There's the professional side and there's the personal side. On the personal side, I've always kept quiet. I've kept my personal life to myself. I've never put it out there, no matter what went and happened and didn't happen and all of that. Similarly, in this period of time, I went through a lot of turbulence in my personal life. And because of that, I wasn't in a headspace to make a film. I never want to be somebody who makes a film because I'm going to earn out of it. I want to be able to make a film because, yes, I'm earning well. That's the side. That just is something that happens when you make a film. It cannot become your reason to make a film, I feel. For me, at least. due to that, I never wanted to come back and make a film where I'm financially dependent on making that film or not making that film.
Okay, yeah.
So all the things that happened in life put me into a certain amount of debt
Mm-hmm.
and all of that. So I did all the other odd jobs that I could
Mm-hmm.
to repay that debt. I became debt free and I came back to cinema.
That's amazing. That is inspiring. And then you work with Sajid Nadiadwala, who's one of the biggest producers in the industry.
Yes.
How did this happen, and what is he like as a producer?
It was very strange because after a while, you know, in a certain sense in your head, you kind of give up the fact that you're ever going to get to make another film in the first place. Forget a big film like that. And one day he calls me up and he says, just come and see me. And I came and met him and he said, listen, I want you to direct Housefull 5.
Wow.
There was Dipti also, who's the CEO of the company,
yeah.
and she was there, and she was the one who actually first met me and told me that, come, let's go meet sir. And we went and met, and of course there's a part of me that goes, hell yeah. And there's a part of me that also went, oh, am I prepared for this? Am I the right choice for this? I don't want to take somebody's money like that and then not give them what they're expecting.
Right.
So I had that conversation with him, and he said something absolutely wonderful to me that has stuck with me since. And he says, remember one thing, it takes one person to believe in your success. Yeah, and I believe in your success.
Nice. How nice.
And it was just, for me, one of the most exhilarating moments of life, because after that, you just have blinkers on and you realize that one time that you've been batting in the nets for so long that you're actually very prepared.
Wow.
And you're ready to go onto the pitch.
Nice. Are you someone who'll ask him that, why did you think of me for Housefull?
I don't want to ask him that question also. I'm glad he thought of me and he gave me that responsibility. And I'm hoping that after all of it, that I'm fully and over-delivered on that count.
Right. You know, then comes the thing of casting, which is such a massive cast we all can see. People kept coming on board because you all kept writing or innovating with making it bigger?
I mean, I think before the first word was ever written, we knew that Akshay and Ritesh are a part of the franchise. Right. Chunky Pandey will be a part of the franchise. You know, Ranjit is going to be a part of the franchise. And somewhere along the line, we'll figure out which animals are going to be a part of the franchise, right? As you keep writing, then more and more development happens and you realize, okay, these characters are all becoming individually great characters. So let's get bigger actors for them. Let's get more people for them. And then you kind of throw ideas onto who you want to cast for this film and who do you want to bring for this character. And I would kind of suggest that somebody who's sort of known, not known, all of that. And his vision is way bigger than any of ours. And he suddenly says, what about Sanjay Dutt Jackie?
Yeah, I was going to ask. That's a different track.
Different world altogether. Right. And I've never worked with them. And he suddenly suggested the two of them. And of course, at the back of your head as a director, you're going, bloody hell. Absolutely, sir. Why not? Why not? And then you get Sanju and Jackie on board. And then you get Nana sir on board. And I think that's only possible because of Sajid Nadiadwala. He's the only one that I think holds that goodwill, who holds those relationships, and who holds Housefull with such cherish that they would all do it for him.
Wow, that is amazing. You know, the start scene where they all keep coming and, you know, they all are saying, "Main ye hu, main jolly." Tell me, when everyone is on the set, what is that day like for the director?
Oh, for me, you see, my biggest thing was the fact that it's not that we have these actors come in for one scene and go away. Right? They're there through the film. Almost every other scene has about 14 people at least in the sequence. My smallest sequence has 6 actors at the best, right? So at that point in time, I suddenly realized that all of it is fine. Having stars on your set is fine. Are you going to hold their characters alive? Right? That's what matters. Eventually, you are the director. They look to you for that. So you have to make sure everyone's stories are kept alive. When you have 14 characters or you have 6 characters or a parrot or you have monkeys, everything you have to keep alive. So it keeps you on your toes, yes, because there are that many more shots to take, that much more coverage to do and all of that. But it's working with these people. I was fortunate enough to get people who are so excited to be there, so excited to be a part of the franchise, and no problems.
Wow.
No issues whatsoever that I'm coming late or I'm coming early or any such thing. I just had them available to me at all points in time.
Really? That's amazing.
It was insanely...
Because I have heard that Akshay wants to shoot in the morning, you know, he prefers that. Is that true?
I think that's a preference, but he doesn't tell you no that if you want to shoot from 2 p.m. onwards. He has the clear thing that I like to shoot 8 hours a day. And you know that from the start. So you know how to prepare.
So it's better to know from the start.
Always. You know the information. Like if I went to a location and last minute they turned around and told me, oh, I can't give it to you for 2 hours in the middle.
Right.
It's a problem for me.
Mm-hmm.
But if the location tells me that 2 weeks in prior,
right.
I plan for that accordingly.
Fair
and
enough.
That's it.
Right. In this cast, like, you as a, we've also watched these people, like say a Sanjay Dutt. Is there ever a, I don't know if what's the right word, but a bit of an intimidating moment when there's Sanjay Dutt doing a scene for you?
No, not at all. I don't get intimidated by big stars or any such thing, because I think I've been a part of too many films.
Correct, of course, you know that.
Had big stars. Right. The weight of that never came on my shoulder. The weight was only by the fact that if I do not justify their presence by keeping their characters alive for all the sequences, I don't want you to enter the theater and say, "Arey yaar, in this scene it was Sanjay Dutt. It wasn't Baba, it wasn't Bidu." I don't want that to happen. I want the coherency of that character to be there throughout, and that's my job.
Right.
And I stuck to my job.
Nice. Who do you think, if you could tell me out of all that, is genuinely by nature funny? You can be in the room and make everyone laugh.
I think that's definitely Akshay sir.
Yeah.
But if you look at the rest of the cast, you realize that all of them are just chilled out, madcap people. You look at Sanju sir, he's all heart. Jackie sir is just wanting to have a good time in life. He doesn't take pressures. He doesn't want to believe in the negativity. He's a very positive person. Nana sir starts every conversation with "I love you," ends every conversation with "I love you."
Nice.
With my girls, they have become their own little gang. They are constantly hanging out and gossiping with each other. I never had somebody who was a weightage on this film. There was nobody who was upset about life and all of those things.
Wow. And yeah, your actresses also, they clearly, I can just seeing the poster, it's really something. So another thing is that you all had 2 endings.
Yes.
One also, I want to ask you that you all had the confidence from the beginning only, that people will care so much, that 2 ending होएगी तो लोग आ रहे हैं, इतना आपको पक्का था?
जी हाँ. I think Sajid sir had this idea about 30 years ago. Right, 30 years ago, he sat down with himself and said, "What if I could go to a film, and my friends went in one screen and I went in another screen, and we both came out and we had conflicting things to say because somebody said the murderer is something and I said the murderer is so and so. It'll be such a great experience to have that." Of course, he held that idea for 30 years because he never ended up making that thriller. Then came Housefull 5, and he got that opportunity. It was, when he first narrated it to me, I was most excited because immediately, I mean, for me, I get to make a film which is going to be the first of its kind.
Correct,
right? It's that much more exciting. For me, as a filmmaker, if you say what attracted me to Housefull, was the fact that it's a comedy film and there's a murder mystery to it. There are 2 completely different genres that I have to meld together and make sure it comes across as a singular film. Right? That was a challenge and an exciting part of it enough. And then came in this aspect of it. And this just knocked it out of the park.
Wow.
And I was like, works, doesn't work, I don't know, but the experience needs to happen. We need to do it more as an experiment to see how an audience reacts to it. Give them a different kind of an experience other than just coming and watching.
Right. Has it worked? Have people come to you and told you, "Ki I watched this, I want to watch"?
Every message of mine goes starting saying, "Bro, just watch Housefull 5B. Bro, just watch Housefull 5A. Waiting to go. I'm going on so and so date to watch 5B." And all of these messages. So I know it's worked.
Right. Akshay did go outside cinemas to take the reaction with a mask. Tell me about that. What was that like?
I think that was a slightly impromptu thing that he decided to do. And he went there to get his reactions. I think it was very fun. I love that one lady who saw him, realized it's him, didn't intervene, didn't intervene at all, but took her little picture on the side and left. It's great to do those kind of things. It's amazing fun when you get to just see your audience by yourself without the baggage of them feeling, "Oh my God, I'm talking to Akshay Kumar," or any such thing.
Right. Tarun, Housefull has always had its critics, and from the beginning, and even now, I did read some reviews which said, women said the jokes were sexist and they had a problem with that. What would you like to tell women who feel uncomfortable about a joke like that?
I'm saying, for me, as long as people are talking about my film, I'm fine. Don't confuse characters with the director or the producer or the actor's perspective of life. Everything is not a statement, right? If my character is flawed, he does certain things that are not agreeable with society, right? And I'm not here to make a film which is so placid that my characters are all wonderful people and all of that. We're talking about a murder mystery. They're capable of murder, each and every one of them, right? There are characters who are misogynistic. There are characters who are sexist. and that's who they are as characters. It doesn't mean that the actor genuinely is as a human being, right? It's not a reflection on real life as that person or me or my producer or anyone else for that matter. Other than that, I'm saying I have also stripped the men. Did you see that Dino was naked in 2 of the sequences? All my 3 male leads have shown their butts in the film. Why isn't anyone saying that I'm sexist towards men? You're picking and choosing to decide that I'm going to say this about a film. Other than that, I really don't know what to say.
Right.
I mean, everyone will have an opinion.
Sure. But were you prepared going into it? Going by, this has been happening with Housefull forever.
I don't think of it like that. I never go into it prepared saying what is the criticism going to be.
Right.
I'm not such a negative person. I'm going to go into it saying how much they're going to love this film, and that's it.
Right. Tell us about the multi-star, and will you go in the future? And also, now that you have tasted blood with this, will you be like, I want to make with 10 actors?
I would love to. I would love to make a big star cast film again and again and again. I don't think any director will say no to it.
Okay.
As long as the story justifies it. If their presence is enough, if their characters are well developed enough, absolutely, why not?
Right. And if the producer is big enough to...
That is the first thing that needs to happen, is the producer needs to have a vision bigger than you.
Right. Also what the industry was going through and is going through also is a very big turmoil. People say, "Log theatre aate nahi hai." You all are lucky. You all have got good numbers. You all have, it's entertaining. People are saying, was this on your mind that, yaar, log theatre aa nahi rahe hain, we are making such a big one?
I think that's again a producer thing, right? I don't think he would go ahead with making a film if he didn't realize and feel that this is a film that will bring people to the theatre.
Right.
I don't think anyone is going to invest that kind of money into a film just to do an experiment, right? And see. At the same time, we're all fanatical about films. We will continue making films. It's not like if there are turbulent times at the theatre, we will stop making films and wait for somebody to make a film that brings audiences back. He's never been that. I mean, I don't think you reach 75 years of a production house waiting around for people to make that film. Right. So I think if anyone takes a gambit on things, it'll always be him. Yeah. He will always make those commercial entertaining films, and he makes at the same time, he's made a Tamasha, he's made a Highway. I mean, look at the gambit and the variety of kind of films that this man has made, and you'll realize that he's definitely somebody that's always going to be there for the industry to make sure that we keep making films and keep trying to bring audiences back. Right. What kind of a viewer are you? Do you go and watch all movies? I'm not much of a viewer. Okay. Strangely. Okay. I surround myself with non-filmy people more often than not. My closest friends are from the textile industry, and somebody's from does her own business and jewelry. I prefer to go finish my day from here and go back to that world. Normalcy. Because that, I wouldn't say normalcy, I feel a difference because of the fact that they ground you. Okay, yeah. Right? They're constantly, you're not a star for them. They've seen you since you were in your diapers technically, and they can be honest with you and tell you when you're going wrong. And that's great to have in your life because it never lets you fly too high. Right. Are you also someone who will be in touch with all your actors? Like, are you that person who... I'm in touch with actors, but not as, I would say, as a constant and, every day one talks to each other and all of that. I'm a little antisocial that way, yes. No interview with you will be complete without talking about Priyanka Chopra, because that, wherever in the world she will go, an Indian girl will also always celebrate the Desi girl, Right. Do you ever discuss this with her? Have you ever I don't discuss these things with her at all. I think her achievements have surpassed being Desi girl and being all of that by multitudes, right? Yeah. She has become this global icon. She's one of the big paid actors in Hollywood. She's achieved so much that Desi Girl was one of the things that she did. And she did it very well, and also you all did this together. I'm going to take some names, and if you can tell me, what do you learn from these people? These are people we look up to. First question, or first name, obviously, Mr. Sajid Nadiadwala. What is the one thing that we should learn from him? I think the passion for cinema. The entire thing to just keep making movies and you not get affected by failures or even successes for that matter. It never goes to his head. He knows that in 4 days the next film will come, and you move on and you make the next film. And literally from this film, he literally jumped into Baghi 4. Yeah. And it wasn't, he didn't even wait for the release. He just finished work. Literally, it finished our work. Our delivery happened. That phone call went to him to say delivery has taken place, and he moved from the one room to the other room and just continued working.
Wow,
So it's something to learn.
Wow. Akshay Kumar, what is there to learn?
Oh, so much. Where does he get that energy from? First, right? He works non-stop. He doesn't believe in wasting time. He's extremely punctual. One of the best things that I can get from someone is being extremely punctual. I love being punctual. All of these things about how to just keep your head down and work again.
Wow.
These are people who just do that.
Yeah. Abhishek Bachchan? Yeah.
From Abhishek, what do I learn from him? From somebody I've known since I was 16 years old.
Wow.
I would say how to bully Tarun Mansukhani on set.
Wow, he is a bully.
He loves doing it to me.
Yeah.
Because we've known each other since we were 16.
Correct.
So, and he's about 2 months older than me. He's February born, I'm April born. And he loves to look down at me like that. Because and then he goes, I'm older than you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, by 2 months.
Yeah. Ritesh Deshmukh, who's been a part of this franchise and does such amazing work outside. He's directing, acting.
For me, that part of him, the director side of him. Great guide.
Yeah.
He would come up to me a million times and say, do you want to try this kind of a shot? And should we try this? And what about this? And it's such a great support system to have somebody see the film from a different lens and a perspective of being actor in front of the lens, but at the same time support you from behind to say, why don't you want to try this? Do you want to try that? It's great.
It's great. Karan Johar, your past producer.
I think I have to be very, very thankful to him for teaching me my please and thank yous. I say this a million times, but
nice.
I never had that, strangely. He taught it to me from literally by standing beside me and telling me when to say please and when to say thank you.
Nice.
And I owe him a lot for that.
Right. Nice. And lastly, Priyanka Chopra. We have to,
for her friendship. More than anything.
For her friendship.
For her
That's
friendship.
interesting.
She's been a rock solid friend for all these 17 years while I went through bad things in my life. She was there.
Wow, that is so nice to know.
And there was never a thing about work. It's never entered our equation. So
right. This film is yet to grow more. So do you want to tell people there are 2 endings? Which one would you pick? I mean, I know it's
there
your
are 2
babies.
endings, and I would definitely want you to watch 5A and 5B, and then I want you to go back and watch 5A, and then I want you to go back and watch 5B,
right?
And just keep repeating this cycle.
Right. Thank you so much, and best of luck.
Thank you so much. Hi, I'm Tarun Mansukhani, director of Housefull 5, and you're watching this interview on Bollywood Hungama.